Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, First Community Financial Bank, the community bank where you come first. My final guest today is Feed My Starving Children, and I'd like to welcome Tom Duffy. He's the Development Advisor for Feed My Starving Children, and Tom Hubner, who is a volunteer and leadership team member.
Thanks for having us.
We're going to start with you, Tom. Tell us a little bit about Feed My Starving Children.
Feed My Starving Children is a charity that was started 27 years ago. It actually started in Minnesota, and it was founded, it's a Christian nonprofit organization that was founded to provide meals to children under 5 primarily who suffer from severe malnutrition. We ship meals today to 70 countries around the world, and working through a network of partners, this year we'll ship 225 million meals to the 70 countries. We pack all of our meals by volunteers across the United States, and we happen to have one of our sites in Aurora, very near the Fox Valley Mall, where this year we'll have approximately 200,000 volunteers pack 30 million meals at that site.
That is incredible. That's an incredible amount of food to a lot of very hungry children. And I know that according to UNICEF, 6,200 children are hungry around the world on a daily basis. So tell us what the food, and I know you've brought an example to show us, tell us what that food does for those children, because it's more than just the food and the hunger.
Right, and this is what one of the meals, it's a Manapak rice meal. This is our primary meal, and it's a meal that we pack at Aurora, and it's a combination of rice, soy, micronutrients for development, and dried vegetables. And what's really unique and different about it is when we provide the food which helps them develop, we also gives them hope, because they live in an area around the world where they don't have food, or they haven't had good nutritious food. So we give them food that allows them, their bodies to develop, to grow and become really viable members in their society, and hopefully work to help break the cycle of poverty that they exist in these countries.
And we can do that for 22 cents a bag, right?
And we can do it for 22 cents. We work very hard to manage the cost of the product that we purchase, the 22 cents. We also work very hard to run the organization very effectively. And for the last 9 years, our organization has been on Charity Navigator's top 1% in terms of ranking, which speaks to the governance, speaks to the efficiency that we run. We think that's very important, not only for our organization, but for the donors and volunteers who support us.
Well, that's a good lead-in, because Bob, you're a volunteer. So tell us a little bit about how you got involved with Feed My Starving Children.
Well, Jane, I got involved about 7 years ago, and it was approached by my daughter, who came to a packing event at the Aurora facility through her church group. Okay. And she went there for 90 minutes. She came back and she said, "Dad, you've got to get involved and help these people. This is such a fun thing to do, and it's so rewarding, and I want to help." So for those 7 years, I've been a volunteer, both at the site. Every Saturday I come in and I work with the wonderful staff at the Aurora site, and they make all their volunteers feel so welcomed. They get them involved. And I also work on the mobile pack site, which is taking the mobile facility, not at the station facility, but taking it to a church, a school, a business, or even a college.
Okay, well, and we'll talk about that a little bit more, because I think one of the interesting things, and if you could describe when you come in, because you've said they're so welcoming, which is great, describe kind of how that whole thing works. So I walk in the door, how do I get to pack the food?
Well, it starts with making as a volunteer, you reserve a spot. And it's very simple to do. You go on our website, which is fmsc.org, and you click on the volunteer button and you say, "I want to volunteer." The volunteer packing sessions are just 2 hours long, so we pack at Aurora from 9:30 in the morning till 9:30 at night, 6 days per week.
Yes. So it's very convenient. We can fit it into any kind of group that we might be a part of.
The group comes in. We can actually have 140 volunteers at each 2 hour session, and when they come in, when they arrive, they check in. We're an FDA managed food company, so we wear hairnets. Sanitation is very important. Take your jewelry off and all that. They check in. We talk with them about hunger. We talk with them about how our meals get to the hungry children around the world. And then we show them a brief video of what the packing session is going to be. They wash their hands, they go into the packing room, and for about an hour and a half, they pack meals. When they finish, we come back, we usually show them a video of a child who has gotten the food and has changed their life and given them hope for a future. And then we celebrate with all the volunteers. We celebrate how many meals they packed and how many kids are going to feed with that work that they did.
It's a very tangible aspect that's very unique to volunteering. Many volunteers will just send a check-in, but this is something that they participate in, and you can be 5 years old or 90 years old. There's something for everyone there, and every time I'm there, there's not a dry eye when people leave, because they actually feel they've done something.
Right.
They have tangible results, they participate, it's easy, it's fun, they play music, and everybody gets involved as a community.
I think that's an important part, isn't it? It's building community here to help build communities overseas where it's needed. I think that's terrific. Tell me a little bit, because you mentioned earlier about the Feed My Need, the mobile. Aurora is one of only 7 sites in the U.S., is that correct?
One of 7 permanent sites.
Permanent sites, which is really amazing, and we're so lucky to have it in our community. But tell us a little bit about the mobile units, because you have an event coming up quite soon. So tell us about that.
So the permanent sites is where everyone goes to, and that produces the bulk of the food during the annual year. There are mobile packs, and we have a mobile pack is where they take the site and bring it to that location.
Okay.
And in this case, Feed the Need is the local mobile site that was going to be conducted at North Central College on February 15th and 16th. Okay. And we've done this for the last 4 years. We've produced 1.1 million meals for the community.
Wow.
And Feed the Need is a local informal congregation of coalitions of churches, civic organizations, local businesses, and the high schools. Okay. So they get involved, and we're going to bring in up to 5,000 volunteers this February to pack 800,000 meals for FMSC, and some of that food will also go to the Ebola-stricken countries in West Africa.
Okay, which is such an important need right now. Right. So, where at North Central College will you be located?
We'll be at the Resurrect Center on Brainerd Street.
Okay, wonderful.
And you can volunteer right online through the fmsc.org site, and we are welcoming the public to come and join us and help pack these meals.
That is great. That is great. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, there'll be more spotlight. But in the meantime, we want to encourage volunteers to get involved with this event on February 15th and 16th at North Central College. You can simply go to the Feed My Starving Children website for more information. Thanks for being with us today, guys.
Thank you, Jim.